from the vault, high atop the pastoral center of the Diocese of Camden, you're listening to Talking Catholic.
Hey everybody, welcome to Talking Catholic. I'm Pete Sanchez, and we have a very special co-host with me today, Kari Janisse, coordinator of youth, young adult, and young adult ministry at Our Lady of Peace Parish in Williamstown, where we are. We are in Marion Hall right now. Kari, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks Pete for having me. I'm really excited to be here, co-hosting with you. Kind of moved up the ranks here. I feel excited to make the big plunge.
Yeah, Mike.
Take over for Mike.
Well, Mike is here. He's ever present. He's behind the scenes today as our producer. So thank you, Mike, for that. And thank you for, and Kari, thank you for having us.
Of course. Always love having you come down here.
And we were talking about, because you and I were both in the same place this weekend, at least on Friday, I think, right?
Pete, it was awesome. I got to see you up on that stage performing live for the Mater Ecclesiae Dinner Theater show. Really great seeing you in that play and all the actors and actresses that were a part of it.
Thank you. Yeah, it went well. It was. I'm glad for your support, and I believe somebody else will mention was there too. I thank her for her support. It was a fun time. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've been practicing since.
Wait, why did you keep it cryptic? Why don't you just actually thank the person, not just the person who was aimlessly in the room?
I'm sorry. Kate Creel, thank you so much. And Kim, you were here too. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It was a party. It was a good time.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And it was a wonderful time. I have a void in my life now because I was practicing 2-3 times a week since September. So now I might get, I don't know, maybe I'll start woodworking or
I don't know. There's a lot of work in youth ministry, so if you like to volunteer, I can bring you over here. Your cap fingerprinted, background check, virtuous.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring in.
I am fingerprinted already.
All right,
Rod has my prints.
We got a lot of work to do, so
okay.
We'll fill the void easily down here in Williamstown for you.
Okay. Well, I'll be in. That sounds interesting.
Yes. But yes, the show was great. Mater Ecclesiae does a great job every year with that. All those that make it a really special part of the year for all those that attend it. Based around Valentine's Day, it's a great date night for those. But like I said, it's a girls' night. It's a fun night as well. There was younger people there and their teens and some older people and everybody in the mix. And it was a funny show, a great show. Shout out to Jill Rooney for being the step-in director of it. She did a fantastic job. She did. I can't say enough about Jill. And her daughter, Maggie, was on stage with us, and she was wonderful. I mean, the professionalism of Jill and Maggie and the cast and crew, it's just something I'm like a sponge. I just try to soak up as much as I can from everybody, and inspired and just humbled to be on stage with them. Yeah.
Kari, you should be on with us next year. Ever thought about that?
I like performing, but not on the stage like that. I wouldn't do a good job. You don't want me up there. But I enjoy watching it, and maybe I could do props or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll keep your. You know what? I'll tell Jill, and I'm sure she'd love to have you come on board.
Yes.
So
in my spare time, I'll do that.
Okay. Well, we start back up in September, so keep next fall open. Well, we got some exciting events coming up, Kari and listeners. The Bishop Sullivan will be celebrating the Black History Month Mass this Sunday, February 24th, 2:30 p.m. at St. Charles Borromeo Church in Sicklerville, New Jersey, 176 Stagecoach Road. A light reception will follow the Mass, so all are welcome. And coming up, we're talking about March already. Kari, there's an event coming up, exciting, a youth-related event.
So the Diocesan Office of Youth and Young Adult Ministry, particularly Greg Coogan, always does a great job each year doing something called Youth Congress. Started years ago. I've been in youth ministry 11 years now in the diocese, and it always has taken place. Has taken different turns through the years. So this year is one of those turns it's taking where they're taking it from Youth Congress to calling it Youth Leader, bringing in Center for Ministry Development leader to kind of coordinate this and share with the youth ways and tactics to not only grow your faith, but also to become a leader amongst the youth. So this gets sent out to all the parishes with the hope that all parishes and high schools do send youth there. And it's going to take place on Saturday, March 2nd, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that's at Assumption Regional Catholic School. And that's OLPH Parish. I never heard it called that, but that's because it's a little ways down from where I am. It's down in Galloway. And more information, you can email Greg Coogan at gregory.coogan@camdendiocese.org, and he can get you all the details. But the main details, Saturday, March 2nd, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., youth leaders, missionary, discipleship, and you.
Thank you, Kari. Well, we've had you on the program about a year and a half ago. Is it now?
I think so. Life is a blur. Sometimes
Amen.
I'll blame it on my brain because just about a year ago I became a mom. So it had to be I wasn't even pregnant then. So I would guess about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well,
far too long, actually.
Yeah.
I would like to apologize, Kari.
It's okay.
We have done a few Facebook Lives with her, but that's true. We have not had you on the podcast.
Well,
since then.
you know what? You did invite me. I wasn't able to come. The 100th show. I was kind of bummed about it. Actually, I had it on my calendar. Pete had asked me. I think it was December 14th. I want to say, and then we're sitting in a parish staff meeting, and they say on December 14th is the parish appreciation dinner. All ministries have to be present. And here I am in my mind going, no. So afterwards I said to Father, because, I don't take any vow of obedience, anything like that. But I am very obedient to my pastor and my boss. One, because he signs my paychecks. And then two, because I know him and love him and respect him and do value his opinion. So I just, frankly asked him, where do you need me most? And he preferred here. And in hindsight, I'm really thankful. I do enjoy that. It's a nice, we not only serve as the youth, but it is a nice dinner for those that serve in the parish. So the youth do help with that. We collect the coats, we put them on the hangers, we organize that. We, with my entertainment business, many are familiar, send me around the diocese on stilts or performing. I bring in I bring in Santa Claus, I bring in Rudolph. So I guess they didn't want to miss those either if I wasn't there. So I always pray for the gift of bilocation. It has not come yet, but I pray for it. So maybe at the 200th or something, maybe we'll have it by then. We'll see. But if not,
I will call Father Maz and make sure you were there at the 200th. Yeah. Man, I need to have a conversation with them.
Even 150. I'll take 150.
Okay, 150. Yeah. Great. Okay.
But thank you for the invite, and that is why there's a little longer gap. It's because of me.
Okay. Well, then we understand, and you have such a vibrant community here.
Thank you.
And so come on out. That is March 2nd. There's also another event at Sacred Heart High Center in Vineland, New Jersey, the Called to Be Holy. It's a retreat day of spiritual formation. The workshop is open to the public, and it's strongly recommended for all working in ministry. It's at 15 Northeast Avenue at Sacred Heart High Center, the former Sacred Heart High School, from 10 to 3 p.m. The cost is $25. Bring a lunch. There will be light breakfast and drinks provided. For more information, contact Colin Mayhew, the Lay Ministry Formation Secretary. And you can mail a check to the Diocese of Camden, Lay Ministry Formation, 631 Market Street, Camden, New Jersey, 08102. Saturday, March 2nd, Called to Be Holy. And Kari, we have... this is really neat. At the end of next month, the Iris for Vocations.
Yeah, so been on the committee for this for quite a few years now. Love Iris. I think we're in our 8th year of it, I believe. John Kalitz, don't get mad at me if I have that wrong. But yeah, it takes place every year. It's beautiful because it's not only vocations to the priesthood, but religious life. There's many religious sisters present there in their habits. It's beautiful. So it starts with Mass with the bishop, kind of 12 o'clock gathering, Mass at 1, and immediately after Mass, you continue to get ready for the 1 mile walk and 5K run, and that takes place. After that, we have food donated, and it's a free picnic, free family entertainment. Like I mentioned a little earlier at the entertainment, I'm always there, either on stilts or face painting or making balloons for kids, and I love it. And a lot of my staff volunteer their time for that event as well, and it's always a blast. A little earlier this year, so mark your calendars. Usually in April. This year, March 31st. Not only mark your calendars, but we want everyone praying. Put Our Lady in the window. Whatever way you have a devotion to ask Our Lady to give us good weather. We're hoping for it and we're praying for it, and didn't like the shadow. Wasn't it like earlier, right? Yeah.
You did not see shadow.
So that means it's earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're in good shape, like already. Like I'm confident. So
praise God, the Punxsutawney Phil.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. We're ready, and I race March 31st, 12 to 5, Washington Lake Park, Sewell, New Jersey. Register for free, CamdenPriest.org. It's gonna be a great day. Great day for vocations. Great day for our diocese.
And come see Kari on stilts.
Yes, I'm back. I was pregnant last year, so once again, I wasn't in that capacity. I had just had the baby last year. It was awesome. John Paul was there, and he got held by more priests and sisters that day and blessed that day than I think any other. So it was a great day. It was like our first big outing as a family too. So it was really exciting.
Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah, it's such a great day for. Mike always says Catholic Jamboree. I love that term, Mike.
It is.
That's what we need to put that on a flyer somewhere.
Catholic Jamboree. It is a great day though. It's beautiful.
I love that term, Jamboree. It's just fun. It's just. But coming up later on, April 7th, we have the annual Faithful Food Drive. There's a lot of individuals in South Jersey that are they're, I guess, food insecure. They don't know where their next meal is coming from. So this is a nice event. There'll be more information coming out. Basically, all the parishes will be collecting food that will go to different food banks, pantries, organizations all around South Jersey. So this is Sunday, April 7th, 2019. Save the date for the annual Faithful Food Drive. And then coming up April 28th, we have, April 28th is when is your event, Kari?
May 19th.
May 19th, okay. Well, April, we're going through the month. So April 28th is the
Youth 2000 Fearless Retreat. Fearless Retreat is April 28th.
April 28th? Okay.
That's what you were thinking of. We were talking about that a little.
Oh, no. Well, we also have the Afternoon of Jazz coming up.
So much on April 28th.
We do. Well, let's talk about the Afternoon of Jazz first, and then we'll talk about the Fearless. It is the April 28th, Aletto Caters, in Almanessie, New Jersey, Afternoon of Jazz Plus, sponsored by the Diocese of Camden, Black Catholic Ministries, and Cultural Diversity. So come on out for a fun fellowship dinner. Contact Joanne DeGennaro. It is 2 to 7 p.m., $50 per person. Sunday, April 28th. Come out for good jazz music. 2 to 7 p.m. Contact Joanne DeGennaro, 856-583-2904. And
Felicia's going to fill us in on Fearless?
Yes.
Yes. Hi. So I'm Felicia Navarro from the Violent Catholic Collaborative. We actually are hosting Fearless Retreat. You can look up information on fearless.com. But it's a Fearless Retreat. It's for young people from 8th grade to high school, 12th grade. It's about $35 to $40, I think, something like that. But it's a wonderful retreat. It's Eucharistic adoration the entire time, live praise and worship music, Mass every day, Rosary every day. The Franciscan Friars of the Renewal are going to be there, the sisters from Atlantic City. And I, myself, alone from our group, we're going to have about 80 young people. That's my guesstimate. So we're hoping for about 200 to 250, maybe 300 and 400 and whatever God sends. So yeah, so it's going to be a great, great time. It's April 26th to the 28th, and it's going to be hosted at St. Augustine Prep in Richland, New Jersey. Ooh, I got that right.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting to be talking, so awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicia. Thanks for that announcement. And Kari, one more. We have
one more. Yeah, so much for the youth this time of year. It's beautiful. As a youth minister, I love seeing it. And the 24th annual this time, Six Flags Catholic Youth Rally held at Great Adventure, or better known as Six Flags to some people, Sunday, May 19th. But the most amazing part of this one
is that it's on my birthday. That is amazing. You're right.
Happy birthday! and for your birthday, Matt Maher is giving the concert, which it makes it really amazing. So we're really happy for that. I know my youth group is just psyched to be able to see him live. We've seen him at NCYC multiple times, and now to have him in our home base, New Jersey, just going to be super excited. So more details from the Youth and Young Adult Ministry office, but check it out. Get your tickets early. I think you have to get them by the end of April, something like that is the cutoff.
And all these announcements and more are at CamdenDiocese.org in the calendar section. Well, Kari, who do we have here with us today?
So I am really excited to introduce Joe Campo. He's from Grassroots Films. He's the producer of Outcasts, the movie. Also has worked on Child 31, Human Experience, Fishers of Men, and he is an amazing individual. So to me, like a mini celebrity, just to be down in our neck of the woods in Williamstown, because I have seen and shown all these videos, and now tonight Outcast is going to be shown here at Our Lady of Peace Parish in Marion Hall. And Joe has come down from Brooklyn to be with us and to share. Also here is two of our young adult group members, Kim Pacis and Kate Creel, and they're from our Acts group. And Kim has seen the movie and turned me on to it, and it kind of led me to meeting Joe, who I got actually met at a distance at the Father Benedict House Mass and opening, but now we get to meet and talk and share. So they're all here around the table, and we're going to chat about Outcast the movie.
Thank you so much for coming, Joe. How are you today?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. It really is a pleasure to be here. And the way you guys just rattled off, everything that you just rattled off, it's really a privilege for me to be here. I can't believe your calendars. I mean, your book's solid.
Yeah, we try to keep busy.
Amazing.
Thank
it really
you.
is amazing. Keep going.
And so to speak about this, this is documentary. It's working about the, and it goes through where the Friars have served in New York, New Jersey, Ireland, and England.
We film it in 5 different countries.
Wow. And when did this process start?
Too long ago. This is one of the films that you make that you think are going to be done in about a year and a half, but when you actually get back into it, things just were... It's an extremely difficult film to make, and if you get to see the film, besides when we're going to show it tonight, you'll probably see why. Very difficult situations. This is a film that I think most people would rate this as an R-rated film, quite frankly, because of the content in it. I mean, I would never make a film I wouldn't watch with my own mom, to be very honest with you. But at the same time, there's some adult themes in here. But I wanted to bring some information to people who live in the West like us, who are very, very fortunate, come from great families, live good Catholic lives, of what is going on in the world with the poor. And I thought by visiting the friaries in these 5 different countries, the friars would get us to where we needed to go. And in order to accomplish this.
You could see that in the trailer alone. I'm just watching the 2-minute and 16-second trailer, I believe it is, from start to finish, because I've shown it. I've shown it many times, and I say, just give me 2 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Right.
It's so powerful.
Right.
I'm curious, how did you come to know the Friars?
Oh, that's another show. But that actually started back in 1988. I had a conversion experience in Medjugorje.
Oh, I've been there.
Didn't really know what I was going to do with my life.
Awesome.
You were there,
yeah.
And didn't know what I was going to do with my life.
Yeah.
And someone introduced me to the Friars, and I got connected with them, and the rest is history.
And you work at the St. Francis House in Brooklyn.
That's correct. I run a home called the St. Francis Home in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, that Father Benedict Rochelle started back in 1967.
Wow.
And part of my conversion was to fill out my vocation at the St. Francis House, and that's what I've been doing for 27 years.
And did you grow up in that area?
No, most people think, I sound like I'm from Brooklyn,
you
or
do.
maybe I look like I'm from Brooklyn. I
You
don't know. No, I actually grew up in the suburbs of Long Island in the woods.
Okay.
But my parents, of course, immigrated from Brooklyn because their parents came through Ellis Island and so forth.
Okay.
But I grew up actually in Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great. I'm a North Jersey girl. Are you Yankees?
of course.
Okay.
No.
Now this is why we connected.
There you go. There it is.
I don't think those words can be uttered on this. No.
Sorry.
The
It can.
underlying premise.
It can.
I grew up in a biracial household.
Yeah.
Yankees and Phillies. We can talk Yankees anytime people want.
I
There
did
we
too.
go.
I have family. My father was a Yankee fan first.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
But
So we're in good company here.
Yeah.
That's what we have concluded. Okay.
Well, Joe. Also, you're. Can you talk about this? You were a third order Franciscan.
Yes, I am.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? It's a good question. I hope I can answer it properly for you, you know. But there's the first order. The first order is priesthood, Franciscans who are priesthood. And the second order would be equivalent to the brothers who actually, you know, wear the habits. You know, when you look at the CFRs, the Franciscan Friars, the Renewal, you don't know if he's a priest or a brother because they dress exactly the same. Then you have the third order. I'm just wearing regular clothes. And so... you know, we live the life of the rule of St. Francis as a third order. And when they bury me, they'll bury me in a habit.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that nice? People are going to come in and say, what is he wearing? How did that happen, and how come I didn't know?
Oh, wow.
Surprise. Yeah, check out the sandals.
Oh, I love it.
It's all there, folks.
Oh, wow.
How long have you been a third order?
Since 2000.
2000?
Actually,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
since 2000. So it kind of, I didn't realize this, but I was a Franciscan at heart. I didn't know that. I had a Franciscan spirit. When I met the Friars, is when I realized probably I'm one of those guys who never really fit anywhere in life growing up, Even when my friends were hanging out in bars and it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I just didn't do it, But when I met the Friars, I could hang out with them. It just happened. And I had a Franciscan spirit. That's what I discovered.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, and as I grew into their friendship, when I was hanging out with the Friars back in '88, there was only 8 guys. Now there's like 130 of them, so some of them I don't even honestly know their names, But when I took over the St. Francis house, and Father Benedict trusted me with that, then things got deep. It got deep. It got real, as they say. It got real. And honestly, it's the first time in my life I think I fit anywhere.
Wow. That's how you know it's from God.
Yeah, I would think so.
You have that
totally
peace,
comfortable.
that peace in
Totally
your vocation.
comfortable. Yeah.
That's amazing.
With the Francis House, so who comes in? It works, the Friars, and you work with those on the margins?
Pretty
Society?
much. That's a good way to say it. I've had guys come through the house who are, out of prison. I've had guys who have lived on the street. I've had people just economic problems, some drugs, some alcohol problems, and so forth. You name it, they've been there. I've had that type of person come through there. And that's why even when I made the film Outcast, I was already engrossed in how these people live. I already understood them as much as one could understand. I already loved them, basically. You love them with the love that God gave you to love them.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's amazing. And we got turned on to the movie Outcast because it was seen by one of our young adults, Kim Pacis, who's here with us. And, she sent me the link and said, watch this, we have to get it here. And it really just, like I said, in those 2 minutes, it shows, you get insight into what this movie is really about. And I think it's an hour and 5 minutes long.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. 65 minutes
So,
long.
just seeing 2 minutes of it, I was sold. I said, this is something I want to try to, and I went on the website and put in the information to get you here. But I like to just hear why Kim was so touched by it, because I'm excited to see it tonight. I haven't seen it yet, but Kim has.
Yeah, so actually a few years ago, back when I was still in college, I graduated last year, we actually had a screening of Outcasts at my college, Kane University. I was part of the Catholic Newman Club, and so one of our big events that we wanted to host was this movie screening of this movie. I don't remember who brought it up or how we came to know about it, but I do remember the process of getting it together, and it was a really big success. At that point, I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I dove into that movie that day and watched it. But truly, everyone who went there, all of my members that came from the club, even people from outside of our school community were there because they heard about it and they wanted to see it, were really, really moved. I think everyone was probably changed in some way that day. And it was brought to my attention again. It's been a couple years since I've last seen it, when actually Father Josh Nevitt messaged me one day, and he said, "Kim, you're on this website for this movie." And I was like, "What?" And he sent me a picture, and it's our group picture that we took that day when we screened it at my school. So I was like shocked. I was like, "Whoa, I'm on the internet." Okay. And he said, "Do you think I should watch it?" And I was like, "Yes, it's incredible. You should definitely watch it." Because I believe, on the website, to screen it, it's not available everywhere. You have to get permission to see it. And so when I saw that, I told Kari immediately, because we're always looking for things to show our young adults here at our parish. And I was like, everyone needs to see this because it's such a powerful film. And what I thought would be just like a regular Monday meeting with our little young adult group turned into a whole parish-wide event.
Yeah.
So that's
Same
what
here.
happened.
Yeah.
That's
It
what
turned
happened.
from something small to something on a greater scale. That actually I've been blasting it out on Facebook. I even put it in our local town group. Just you never know who might walk through the doors.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And it's so, you see the work. We've been blessed here in Atlantic City. We have the Franciscan, the CFR, the Sisters of the Renewal, and I've seen firsthand the work that they do with the Benedict House and there. But it's very much comes from part of there's love to everyone, but it sounds like this, you see the people that they minister to, and it must be, I guess for you, traveling to this place, it must have been such an, did things surprise you? I mean, you've been working in Francis' house, or what was your reaction just following, getting footage?
Well, take into consideration that we're filming a documentary, so yes, there's many surprises. We don't know everything that we're going to film. We think we have a pretty good idea. That's why we're out there, and we trust each other. And but when you actually get down to it, yes, we're very, very surprised. And the things that happen, and it's difficult. It was a difficult film to make. And I think every film that I made in the past, if you know anything about grassroots films, there's all these heart-wrenching films with violins, my favorite instrument. So you're going to hear a lot of violins. I actually wanted to play the violin, but when I was growing up as a kid, if you did that, you were not cool. So I never played it. So now you see it in the work. But anyway, that's another side, another story, right? No, extremely difficult to make. And when you go home, and then we have to look at what we filmed in the editing process, which could take a very long time. And you relive these experiences. And there's a very good chance that you'll become depressed. There's a very good chance that you'll say, why am I doing this? These are the things that I've said. These are the things that have happened to me. Not just me, but anybody that's working on the film. And then we have to, piece the whole thing together and make it even more dramatic because you're adding music. So it's a difficult film to make. All the films that grassroots films seem to be, this is what God wants us to do. That's why we do them. I mean, if I had my way, honestly, I'd like to make a comedy. But God hasn't asked me to make a comedy. And I've got these great lines in this book, but you're probably never going to see them,
Oh, man. Yeah, and I have to say, all now I've seen, like I said, I mentioned Child 31 and Human Experience. Actually, we showed them all at our young adult group, so I was imagining it like great. That. As Kim mentioned, it became bigger. And they're beautifully shot. From the camera angles to the choice of music to the shots, like just beautifully seamlessly woven. I'm an artist, background. I majored in art in college, fine arts, not videography, but I appreciate the eye, the artistic eye in it all, and they're beautiful. And then even in the subject matter, it's beautiful.
I got to tell you, all the guys that worked on all of these films are from the St. Francis House. None of them have been schooled in art.
Wow. They're amazing.
They're amazing guys. Well, I believe God gives everybody at least one talent. At least one. And part of my vocation is to find that talent in a particular individual and then draw it out, And
awesome.
Basically that's what we've been doing. So the real reason to start Grassroots Films was so that I could employ the young men at the St. Francis House and sort of offer them a career. Now, when you tell a young guy, listen, how'd you like to be in the film business? Who says no?
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Then you realize that everything that you do, right, is boring except filming. And most of the things, the least amount of things you do is film, quite frankly,
Right.
But you still have to have, they're very artistic, as you can see in the work.
Yes.
And very tuned in. And, when you use these types of personalities, they've been on both sides of the fence. They've been on the hell side, and also living at the St. Francis House has brought them a tremendous amount of relief. And so, you've got both sides of the fence here. So when you're making the film, things become very clear to them. which maybe you haven't thought of yet because you hadn't experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pulling from their own experiences. Again, another difficult thing to do because then you have to kind of rehash all the negativity in your life, and But it also makes you think that I didn't have it that bad at the same time. So you have to balance everything out.
Yeah,
it's a
great
balancing
insight.
act. Yeah.
What a journey.
Oh, go ahead, Pete.
No, Kari.
Oh, no, I was gonna say Kate has done some work with both the Friars and the sisters, and if you want to speak on any experiences that you have had with them, because you know some of them well.
Sure. So I have seen the film too.
I just learned that now. Sorry, I didn't know.
It's such a beautiful film, and when I watched it, I had heard about it from my sister, who has a friend from college who her parents work with the Friars. They're lay associates. And so I'd heard about the movie through her, and I just recently, like a month or two ago, watched the film because they were like running it like a $5 offer or something to rent it for like 48 hours. So I watched it, and I remember when it was finished just like being like stunned, like, wow, these are rough areas that they live in, and just the work that they do is just so incredible and so different. So I remember just being like, wow, that's beautiful, and that's crazy. But I haven't really worked that much with the Friars. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Friars. They have a show on EWTN called Icons, so I watch that every Friday night at 10:30, and I highly recommend everyone else check it out with Father Augustinio and Father Angelus and Father Innocent. It's just an incredible show where they go around their area and they interview different people who've had conversions and whatnot, and then they teach as well on the show. So great show. Check it out, EWTN, 10:30 Friday nights. But my work, really, the work that I have done has been with the sisters, the Franciscan sisters at the Father Benedict house, and just loving the spirit of the Franciscan life. The Franciscan joy is a joy like no other, and the work that they do is needed, especially in Atlantic City. Having the four of them here is just such a gift, and I thank God for inspiring Bishop Sullivan to bring the four sisters to our diocese. It really has been a gift and such a joy, and has impacted my life in such a beautiful way. So I'm grateful to the Lord for that.
Yeah, so true. And not only just with having them here, us being all exposed, but them working with youth and but everyone, so much so that I tried so many times to get them for different things, and they've declined me for about half of the things I request because they're so busy, which is a good problem to have. I'm really, really thankful for that, for sure. So.
And you've been one of the things, and back me, I haven't seen it, but I read a review. It's interesting that what the review said is that you don't hear from the friars. They don't speak. It is all from the people they serve are the ones talking. Is that the case?
Yeah, basically, people will take like the company Grassroots Films and call us a Catholic film company. We're not a Catholic film company. We're a film company. It's very important, I think, to know that, and because if you make Catholic films, they're usually not that good. Why is everybody laughing?
Okay.
Because I speak the truth. No, what happens is that you get put in a box, you know? Actually, I was speaking someplace just to go over that, and someone said to me, they raised their hand out of the audience, and they said, I'm going to start a Catholic music company. What's the first thing you think I should do? I said, well, just be a great music company. Don't be a Catholic company, because our work is evangelization. And so if you're a Catholic company, you're preaching to Catholics, because the non-Catholics, they're really not listening. I can take a film like Outcasts and call it a social justice film. Big word today, social justice, because it is a social justice film. Beautiful. So this film is not just for Catholics. Of course Catholics are going to like it. I hope that they do. They should like it, I mean, I'm Catholic, You know, everybody that worked on the film is probably Catholic. I don't know. However, there's no preaching in the film of Catholicism at all. The friars don't preach in the film at all. The poor people do. And when I saw that happen, I knew that was going to be a home run. Mm-hmm. Because people are expecting the friars to come out and say, praise be Jesus Christ now and forever. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen. You do see the friars in front of the Blessed Sacrament, though.
Yes.
You do see them praying the rosary. Mm-hmm. You do see them, but you see it in silence, and it's backed up with music. Because it's another part of the film. It's a layer of the film. But if we came out swinging, a lot of people wouldn't like the film. I don't blame them. I don't think I would like the film. And I'm the producer of it, you know. So the idea of this is to have real people, broken people, men, women, and children talk about God, their experience, because they believe it. So if they believe it, you might believe it. But if the friars say it, it's so expected. Yeah. It's just expected. Mm-hmm. And so people are like, well, you know, I knew what they were going to say. When you watch Outcasts, you don't know what's going to happen next. When you watch The Human Experience, you don't know what's going to happen next.
Right.
And the same thing with Child 31. Mm-hmm. And so this is what keeps people interested in the film. And all the films will be considered social justice. I can tell you that The Human Experience is one of the most pro-life films you will ever watch. Never mentions the word pro-life. Never mentions the word Catholic or the pro-life movement. Not even once. Doesn't have to, because it is. And the same thing with even Outcasts. Mm-hmm. You don't have to mention Catholic. You don't have to mention anything. It is. But it's easy to accept because it's not preachy. No one's preaching. Yeah. And you said earlier that it almost made it sound like it's difficult to see the film. But if you go to the website, outcaststhemovie.com, you can find a way to see the movie because we're still doing screenings. Right. Little commercial. But it's outcaststhemovie.com. We have to say that, right?
And you've been doing you've been going all over the world?
Pretty much. Yeah, we're very fortunate. Yeah.
Wow.
We're very fortunate. We did a couple of tours.
What was one of your more memorable ones?
Poland.
Yeah.
Poland. First time I was ever in Poland. Actually, I don't do all the tours. The younger guys go. And the guys in Poland who I work with said, no, we want you to come. Like, have the younger guys come. They even look better on the stage. Just get the younger guys out there, you know? And they specifically asked for me to come. And I said, okay, I'll go. And I'm so glad that I did because it was the first time in my life I was in Poland, but it's the first time I experienced a country that was Catholic and proud of it. The opposite of what I was talking about the films. Total opposite. Mm-hmm. Everybody's Catholic. It's a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. There was no confusion. Men were men, women were women, children were children. It was just so beautiful. It brought me back to my childhood. Yeah. Actually, in a way.
Oh, I got to get to Poland.
Get to Poland.
St. JP too.
That's right. Yeah. My hero.
Mine too.
It's so like you made places that are Catholic, and it seems like in places where the friars are, England and Ireland, and even here, there's a drifting away from Catholicism. You don't see it's becoming more secular, and the friars are so needed.
Yeah, I think that's why the movie will do well. I think we're sort of kind of listening to, the way things are going. I mean, I'm not happy with the way things are going. People are leaving the church. I usually go to the Vigil Mass where I am in Brooklyn, and, I'm one of the youngest guys there. I don't see any young people. And I often think when I'm sitting there, what's going to happen in 20 years? So...
Yeah. And that's why this is so needed, because I think in working with youth, they gravitate to the videos now because it's so accessible with YouTube and Netflix and everything at their fingertips. So when you have a catchy, even the trailer, like I showed it to our 6th through 8th graders, I showed it to our high school youth ministry, and they were connected. A lot of them are hopefully coming out tonight. Have been talking about it, asking their parents to come, because they appreciate videos, and so it's a key.
The power
to
of film it's undeniable.
Yes.
I mean, Jesus spoke in parables, so we're making films.
Yeah, we're in the day and age for this. Exactly.
It's kind of simple.
Yeah. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for putting all this effort and heart into it. It's so needed, and you're answering God's call through it.
So, Joe, I made my bones early in my career doing short films. So I'm just curious from a technical perspective. You said you know most of the guys did a lot of the work. So what kind of, I'm just curious, what kind of equipment were you using to shoot this movie?
Believe it or not, the actual film was shot on about 4 different cameras.
Really?
Yeah. Everything's digital.
Yeah.
There was no film or anything like that. 4 different cameras, and like the Canon 5D, and just small cameras. All my work is done on small cameras, quite frankly. Yeah. Once we go back into the studio, we enhance everything quite a bit. It's a lot of work, and then.
Because I'd say that the quality of the film is outstanding. Like just from the trailer alone, I mean, it is. The shots are gorgeous. It's a beautiful looking film, and then it's shot in a very gritty fashion in the sense that, I mean, you're there. I mean, you're there amongst these people, and I can't stay for the movie tonight, but I'm going to figure out a way to watch the movie because the trailer really enticed me a great deal. But the sound quality is great and the music is wonderful. I'm curious, like, how long did it take you to actually edit the whole piece together?
It probably should have taken less than a year, maybe 2, but we had so many problems with this film. I mean, everything that could go wrong with making a film went wrong with this film.
Oh, man.
I knew it was a work of God right from the beginning.
That's how you know when there's a little...
Including things like infighting and, like crazy things that you would never expect to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, get your hands off my throat. You know what I mean? I really didn't mean it. It's like, what's going on here? Everybody, put your guns down.
Well, that's the humanity of it. That's where you know.
There's passion. There was a lot of passion, but things went wrong. Equipment went wrong. People left. People came back. It was just a real zoo.
Yeah.
But, you look at the cross and you say, well, he never gave up.
Yeah.
So 5 years later, here I am.
Yeah. And the Friars are global at this point. So you went to each of their areas, including England and Ireland, right? Any place else outside?
It was England, Ireland, Honduras, New York, and Nicaragua.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious, of those, I have to assume there was sort of like each area had its own sort of personality.
It's true. Right? Yeah. It's true.
And I'm curious, say I have a hard time picturing the difficulties in Ireland. Can you give us an example of what you captured on film or on digital?
Wow. Well, we went to just a small city there called Ross, and I wouldn't want to give away too much of the film.
No, don't give it away. I'm just curious.
But let's just say that this place was so bad. The government put a wall around it.
Wow.
Right. That was either to keep people in or not, or keep people. It was very difficult, and there were cameras, 24/7 cameras in this particular town of Ross, and it was known as I forgot the exact term. I think it was called Murder City or something like that. Really? Yeah, it was horrible.
Because you don't hear about. I mean, when we think of Ireland, we think of this idyllic, green grass and all the touristy things. You don't realize, there are sections of it that are very hardcore. Same thing in England as well. We think of central London. We don't think of the difficult areas. Right. So Nicaragua, we have a
third world country.
Yeah, you get that natural inclination.
You get that third world feeling.
Yeah, not in the first world country. So it's good to know that there's. Not good. It's horrible that still exists there, but it's that we are ministering to those areas that we thought this was a thing of the past.
We had some difficulty even with some of the guys. They were not psychologically doing too well in some of these areas, and quite frankly, you just have to read the gospel.
Yeah.
The poor will always be with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is very true.
They'll always be with us.
Yeah.
So do something. If you feel bad about it, do something about it.
Yeah. And I imagine, just like I said, I'm excited tonight to watch it. But I imagine, after seeing Child 31, how it's amongst the poor, right? Amongst the poor, and how people were moved. Like, we showed it to our school kids right here at St. Mary's. Every year for about 5 years straight, we did a Mary's Meal program in January where they each got a lunch bag to take home to fill with money for our school in Liberia that we sponsor. And we show this film to inspire them and all of them were just like, wow. Like, I would do a Q&A after and say, how do you feel about this? Like, what stood out to you? And they say, this little kid didn't even have a book bag. And so that's them seeing the poor and then being moved to do something. One of the little girls started making bracelets, selling them to make money for Mary's Meals. Other kids did other things. They saved their allowance or whatever it might be. And so that's what these films do. They inspire us. They open our eyes to see where we can't see.
I think people are, they're naturally good, but you need a little something to bring it out maybe.
And
We're
we
just
live
so
in this,
distracted.
Yeah, we live in this world and we get absorbed with it, and we forget what we're called to do. So you're a great reminder. Thank you for putting this out there.
You don't want my job.
Joe, so outcaststhemovie.com?
With an S, outcaststhemovie.com.
Outcaststhemovie.com. Yeah. And for your other films, is there a website? How can people
grassrootsfilms with an S.com.
Okay. Well, Joe, and thank you so much for coming, and all the best. And look for this movie on the web. And Kari, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I loved co-hosting. I'll come back anytime.
Oh,
you have my number. Text
love
me.
It. Okay.
And then and Kim and Kate, thanks for being here too.
Yes, thank you so much. And Mike,
core members of our young adult ministry here.
Yeah, all the best to you all. And Kari, come back soon. And Mike, thanks for everything.
Sure. Yeah,
and
thanks,
Joe,
Mike.
Thanks again.
Thank
all
you,
the
Joe.
best.
Thank you.
Go see outcaststhemovie.com.